Okay, welcome in to the TEAL Shirt Report podcast. We are rolling. Let's see, we're about 8 seconds in now. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to the TEAL Shirt Report podcast. Some interesting things happened on the podcast. Bear in mind that episode show number 40 of 2025 was audio only. You can find it on our website at bigjreport.com. Oh. And I'm going to tell you, the coffee is really, really good. Got music in the background. This is the TEAL Shirt Report podcast, episode show number 41. We're going to salute Josh Allen. He is a pivotal player. We didn't talk about the defense much on episode show number 40. I don't think we're going to talk about the defense that much in episode show number 41, but we're saluting Josh Allen. You know, he's had, some personal issues with I found out, and I didn't know this for quite a while, but with one of his children that's been ill and sick, and I think is doing better now, and that's a good thing to hear. Things like that can affect play, practice, psyche, attitude. I look for Josh Allen to have a really big season. I really do. He's the edge rusher. He's a defensive end / edge rusher. And he went from 17 and a half sacks, got the big money, and then slid down to 8. Could that have been possibly because, his child was ill? And we send our prayers out to Josh Hines Allen and his family, and we wish for him and his child to have a speedy recovery. And the latest reports are good. I don't know all the ramifications, all the details. If you know more about it than me, because I just recently found out about it, please comment on this podcast about Josh Hines Allen. I can pull up the numbers for Josh Hines Allen. And mainly it's they're sack numbers, right? He's an edge rusher. The Jags didn't need to draft another edge rusher because he's a guy. His numbers did fall last year, but the win total fell too. 4-13 last year for the Jaguars. We weren't going to talk much defense. We're still not going to talk a lot of defense, but let's take a look at Josh Allen. He was drafted, he was a first-round draft pick way back in 2019. Tom Coughlin was still involved during this draft as the executive vice president of football operations. We know that Tom eventually got fired because of some ramifications with fines and things like that. Let me tell you, Tom Coughlin's won Super Bowls with the New York Giants. All 3 times the Jaguars have been to AFC title games, Tom Coughlin was involved as a coach / GM, and then an executive vice president back in the 2017 season, the 2017 season, when the Jaguars reached the AFC title game. Patriots, 1 penalty for 10 yards. We'll take that to the grave with us in the future. I love the standings right now. The AFC South standings for 2025. Everybody is 0-0. Josh Allen, sack numbers, 10.5 sacks way back in 2019, 2.5 sacks in 2020. And that was the COVID year, I believe, 2020. 2021, 7.5 sacks. 2022, 7 sacks. And then when he achieved 17.5 or 17.5 sacks in 2023, that got him the huge money from former GM, general manager Trent Baalke. Last year, the sack numbers fell to 8. He did not play in the last game. I don't know all the ramifications of his child that has been ill. If you know more about it, please post it in the comments over here. And we understand that things are, as far as his child being ill or sick, I understand in reports I saw on the news over the weekend that his child is getting better, or the prognosis is better and perhaps much better now. 17 and a half sacks for Josh Allen back in 2023, but he fell off to 8 sacks in 2024. He did not play the last game of the season. We talk about games played. I mean, he's been a warrior. I mean, he's played 16 or 17 games almost every year. Played 8 games in 2020. Sacks were only 2.5 sacks that year. I believe he had some injuries that year. But I mean, he's been durable. I mean, the last 4 years been very durable, either playing in 16 or 17 games. And I know the schedule really only went to 17 games, about 3 years ago. So I don't want to delve too much into these stats. I think he could improve the tackle numbers. I'm not going to go into all the tackle numbers right now by Josh Allen, number 41. This is episode show number 41 of the TEAL Shirt Report podcast. I'll pause the music for a moment. We probably let the music roll on too long, as our executive producer, JC, would tell me. Thank you guys for tuning in. We talk about Josh Allen. He's a key cog. Now, on social media, I'm hearing all the people saying, maybe not all the people, but I heard somebody say, man, you ought to line Trayvon Walker up next to Josh Allen. Now, wouldn't that mean that and Josh Allen's always been a linebacker / defensive end, probably more, now that he's becoming a veteran, he's probably more of a defensive end edge at this juncture. I don't think he'll be playing much linebacker. But, they move guys around. Defenses are so hybrid now. And we know back when Mike Codwell was the defensive coordinator, he, especially in the first year he was around, Trayvon Walker was dropping in coverage. I didn't really like that. Trayvon may play more inside this year. That's been the rumor that we've talked about and we've heard in other rumors. If you play Trayvon Walker next to Josh Allen, that means Trayvon's probably going to play inside. But you got other defensive tackles, a guy that on the team that can play nose tackle. Sometimes the nose tackles are called nose tackles. Sometimes the same nose tackle is called a defensive tackle. I like the effort by the defensive backs and at least half the linebackers on this team right now. You're paying Josh Hines Allen millions of dollars to rush the passer, to get sacks, come up with big defensive plays. Okay? Trayvon Walker will probably play a big defensive end. Maybe he slides in and plays some defensive tackle this year. And that's really all I want to talk about the defense. Because I see a lot of great effort. I really do. I see a lot of great effort by the defensive backs and at least half the linebackers. I love the effort I saw out of Ventrell Miller. After he had been injured in his rookie year, he really came back and played hard, last year in 2024. Ventrell Miller, I know that the boys say to Alacoon, man, he's been among the leading tacklers. He's been the leading tackler in the NFL when he was with the Falcons and the Jaguars. Now, there were also mentions, real quickly, I'll mention the defense was talking a few weeks ago about how the Jaguars last year, the management, the defensive coordinator, whatever the case was, but some of the Jaguars players were urged to be at a stronger weight or a heavier weight. And that was the first time I'd ever heard that. These defensive players have been through several defensive coordinators. They really have. They've been through the guy they had last year, as you know, Nielsen. Nielsen is now, Ryan Nielsen got another job. He's with Buffalo. I'm not sure if our executive producer, JC, knows that, but the former Ryan Nielsen, former Jags DC, Where is he now? I looked him up yesterday. He is now with the Buffalo Bills. Ryan Nielsen is currently a senior defensive assistant for the Buffalo Bills. He joined the team after leaving the Jacksonville Jaguars, where the team struggled defensively under his leadership. Again, former Jaguars defensive coordinator Ryan Nielsen joins the Buffalo Bills. This was news reported by Sports Illustrated, the local newspaper in Jacksonville as well, the Times-Union. So you got a guy, and Ryan Nielsen, who, and prior to him, it was Mike Caldwell. I didn't agree with everything Mike Caldwell did. Ryan Nielsen, I think, had the defense in preseason looking good. All three strings. And, the third string, a lot of those guys weren't even making the team. But he had them playing his defense proficiently and efficiently in the preseason. I don't know what happened when the regular season started, when the bullets started flying for real. But whatever the case may be, it didn't work out. Now you've got, a new head coach and Liam Cohen, a new defensive coordinator, and Anthony Campanelli, and we'll see what happens. I didn't want to talk about the defense that much. I do have things on my mind. I did see some things of interest in the Facebook group, the Big J Report Facebook group. Barry Johnson does a outstanding job for us. He's one of the moderators in the Facebook group, and he posts a lot of articles and shares a lot of great posts. By the way, very hot this morning, 77. Looks like late tonight the low will be 76. A very warm to hot, even during the nighttime. Mostly clear and a hot 77 degrees in Jacksonville, Florida at 5:15 a.m. on Monday morning, July the 28th of 2025. Mostly clear and hot in the forecast. High around 99. Very hot today on Monday. High around 99, and intense heat. Going to feel hotter than the actual temperature a good bit of the time. Lows at night near 76 in North Florida. Highs again near 99. West winds becoming south at about 3 to 8 miles per hour. Rain chance. It looks like the rain will hold off Monday, but there's about a 40% chance of rain and scattered thunder showers developing over the next 48 hours. It looks like a 40% chance or close, about a 40% chance of rain on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. So about a 40% chance of rain over the next 48 hours and possibly some scattered thunderstorms mixed in as well. I was taking a look, and by the way, how about the Jacksonville rugby team? The Jacksonville Axemen beat the Tampa Bay Mayhem at UNF. Alex Nunry reports that the Jacksonville Axemen are your 2025 USARL South champions. Good report, Alex. They got the South Trophy, and now they're going to play in the national championship game against the Brooklyn Knights. And Alex says he's going to be at that one. I believe that one's on August the 9th. And I believe it's going to be here over at UNF. Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Man, they lost 2 in a row where they only got 6 hits in 2 games. But they're playing the Durham Bulls. Probably the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp and the Durham Bulls, man, they're big top dogs in AAA baseball. The Shrimp finally got their bats out, and man, they were looking good on Sunday. Jumbo Shrimp, the big dogs of AAA baseball, along with the Durham Bulls. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp bats finally woke up for the Shrimp. Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp 12, the Durham Bulls 6, a final on Sunday, July the 27th of 2025. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp are now 60-41. 2 great big dogs of AAA baseball. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp are 60-41. And with their loss, the Durham Bulls still have about a game and a half lead over Jacksonville. The Durham Bulls fall to 61-39. Jumbo Shrimp are 60-41, and that means that the Jumbo Shrimp are about a game and a half behind the Durham Bulls in the International League of Triple A Baseball. So that's some of what's going on. North Florida Entertainment Concerts. Peter Frampton is coming, JC. Can you believe that? Peter Frampton, does that deserve to pull out the guitar? I think it probably does. Let's pull out the guitar real quick. If we can. Okay. So, I don't know what's going on with the guitar there. There we go. Okay, we're glad you guys are tuned in to the Teal Shirt Report podcast. We'll take a look at some Jumbo Shrimp finally won on Sunday after losing on Friday and Saturday. Still got a great record. As I mentioned, the Jumbo Shrimp won and pulled out the bats and won convincingly on Sunday, July the 27th. Now, as far as concerts go, Peter Frampton is coming. It's going to be in St. Augustine. A lot of good shows have been in St. Augustine. The Fix, UB40 with special guest The Fix will be in St. Augustine on August the 23rd. Let me pull up some of the shows. We'll take a look at it real quick. Mad Max said that Peter Frampton is coming to Northeast Florida on his birthday. How about that? That's what he told me in a text message. So let's take Mad Max, who does the Mad Max Mix on Wednesday nights at the madmaxmix.weebly.com. So let's take a look at some of the latest shows coming out here. What do we got? Okay, took another sip of the coffee. Okay, here are the shows. Okay, let's take a look. I told you Peter Frampton's coming, and he is. Okay. Before Peter Frampton gets to St. Augustine, let's talk about some of the other shows coming up too. Brad Paisley will be in concert in St. Augustine, Florida on Saturday, August the 2nd of 2025. Heck, that's coming up this Saturday. That's right, coming soon. Brad Paisley will be in concert in St. Augustine, Florida on Saturday, August the 2nd of 2025 at 7:30 p.m. at the St. Augustine Amphitheater. Here's another good one. UB40 and The Fix at the St. Augustine Amphitheater on Saturday night, August the 23rd of 2025 at 7:30 p.m. Tickets selling fast for UB40 and The Fix at the St. Augustine Amphitheater. I will tell you, the St. Augustine Amphitheater, man, they're getting a lot of good shows right now. UB40 is performing at the St. Augustine Amphitheater on August the 23rd of 2025 with special guests, The Fix. Again, the tickets are selling fast for that one. You might do a double take on this one. Peter Frampton, that's right, Peter Frampton on Wednesday evening, October the 29th of 2025 at 7 o'clock p.m. at the St. Augustine Amphitheater in St. Augustine, Florida. Also, another great event, tickets for Mickey Dolenz of the Monkees, Songs and Stories at the Florida Theater on December the 5th of 2025 are on sale now. Mickey Dolenz, the final surviving member. The final surviving member of the Monkees. Previously, Davy Jones has passed away. Peter Tork, he passed away as well. Michael Naismith passed away some time ago as well. Mickey Dolenz, the final surviving Monkey. And I think that's an intriguing show in December 2025 at the Florida Theater. Mickey Dolenz, Songs and Stories. Wouldn't you love to hear some of the stories about the Monkees from Mickey Dolenz? I think Mickey Dolenz was, I saw a post the other day where Mickey Dolenz was very saddened to learn of the passing of Ozzy, and I think Mickey Dolenz mentioned Ozzy during one of his events, one of his shows, and played one for Ozzy Osbourne, who just recently passed away. We're brought to you by Saucer Realty and Capital for your real estate needs in North Florida. We've got links to our sponsors, Saucer Realty and Capital, for your real estate needs in North Florida, whether it's home, residential, business, or commercial real estate. Go to our homepage on our website at bigjreport.com, and you'll be glad you did. Click on the site, Saucer Realty and Capital, right in the middle or toward the tail end of our weather reports. There's a couple of different weather reports on our homepage for North Florida. And we check weather for North Florida, South Georgia, and surrounding areas. It's been hot and humid out there. High temperatures around 99. I'm not expecting any rain today on Monday, but now it's going to change quickly. About a 40% chance of rain over the next 48 hours. It looks like the rain is more likely on Tuesday and Wednesday and possibly Thursday of this week. About a 40% chance of rain over the next 48 hours for North Florida, South Georgia, and even some surrounding areas out there. We gave you the concerts out there for North Florida. Want to thank our sponsors, Saucer Realty and Capital, the MadMaxMix.weebly.com. Mad Max said the Peter Frampton show was on his birthday. So Mad Max has got a birthday coming up. Mad Max, we love your show on Wednesday nights. Check out Mad Max and the MadMaxMix.weebly.com each Wednesday night, 6 o'clock until 8 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Mad Max's show is an event, and he'll play requests for me too. Atlanta Rhythm Section, Steely Dan, among others, Leonard Skinner. Max is really a Leonard Skinner aficionado. I was born in Jacksonville, Florida. I grew up on the west side where most of the Leonard Skinner group is from. And I'm telling you, Max knows a lot more about Leonard Skinner than I do. He'll play Leonard Skinner for you. He'll play Atlanta Rhythm Section, Steely Dan, John Lennon, the Stones. He'll play your requests too. Max loves playing requests. I've heard him play Pink Floyd before and a lot of other great groups. Not just the classic rock groups, but music, pop classics too, on the Mad Max Mix at Weebly.com. And a lot of times Max will have a story about the artist or the group he's playing, the Mad Max Mix at Weebly.com. And don't forget about JC's show, live from the pub on Thursday nights, the very night after the Mad Max Mix. Thursday night is a good night for JC's show. JC live from the pub on Thursday nights. He starts at about 6 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Time on Thursday nights, live from the pub with JC at LakeUfallahits.com. Great internet radio where it's all good. On Wednesday night, Mad Max takes request. He'll give you his phone number. You can text him or call him. JC has a chat box set up at LakeUfallahits.com. Great internet radio where it's all good. By the way, the cool thing about it all is we're kind of a family of media here with BigJReport.com, the Teal Shirt Report podcast, the Mad Max Mix.weebly.com, and LakeUfallahits.com. Great internet radio where it's absolutely all good. And JC is our producer too, our executive producer here on the Teal Shirt Report podcast. Want to thank JC, our executive producer of the Teal Shirt Report podcast. Special thanks to Alex Nunnery. John Gaylor, thank you so much. John is really bullish on Trayvon Walker. I want to be too. I hope this will be Trayvon Walker's best year in 2025. Now, the key thing with good years, and another guy, tight end Brenton Strange, he's going to get more playing time. He's going to get more targets. He's going to have a chance to develop into not only a good blocking tight end like he is, but he's going to get some passes as well. Something I did want to bring up talking about the Jaguars is Barry Johnson did share this post that Michael DeRocco posted from ESPN. Total Travis Hunter snaps through 4 Jaguars camp practices, 83 snaps, 36 on offense, 47 on defense, 7 on 7, 18 snaps, 11 offense, 7 defense, 11 on 11, 65 snaps, 25 on offense, and 40 on defense. This guy is a hard worker. He wants to play both ways. I think he's still going to end up playing more offense than defense, a good bit more. But I could be wrong. I think Mr. John Gaylor might be turning out to be right. At this pace, he might play 75 snaps a game in regular season games when you add up offensive plays plus defensive plays. And I've got to say this about Travis Hunter. I got to say this about him. This guy's a workhorse. He wants it. This guy loves football. He's a workhorse. JC will tell you he's a good fisherman too. He likes to fish, loves to play football. He wants to be out there on the field on both, on both offense and defense. And Michael DeRocco posted about it. Total Travis Hunter snaps through 4 Jaguars camp practices, 83 snaps, 36 on offense, 47 on defense. 7 on 7, 18 snaps, 11 on offense, 7 on defense, 11 on 11, 65 snaps, 25 on offense, 40 on defense. That's from Mike DeRocco as of July the 27th of 2025. That was shared on our Facebook group by our moderator, Barry Johnson. So really, really incredible stuff. And when I first heard that about Travis Hunter, I'm saying, man, this guy's a ball player. He wants to be out there. He's working hard. And if the talent measures up from college to the NFL, the Jags may really have a superstar in the making in Travis Hunter. They've already got Brian Thomas Jr. over 1,200 yards receiving in 2024 with multiple touchdown catches, big plays. And again, it's going to be up to the quarterback. And I think he's feeling more confidence. And I'm hearing that Trevor Lawrence feels like he's even said this, that he feels healthier than he has for a long time. He had injury-riddled seasons in 2023 and 2024. And at least right now in training camp, Trevor Lawrence appears to be completely 100% healthy. And that's huge. He's got to protect the football. And again, we'll go back to the biggest things. I think probably the 4 biggest things are the offensive line, the defensive line, Trevor Lawrence protecting the football. You could always say Trevor Lawrence protecting the football might be the most important thing, but the offensive line is huge. The defensive line has got to really show out this year. Red zone offense. The Jaguars have got to score more in the red zone than their opponent's offense does. Gaylor, I had him kind of laughing the other day, said, man, the Jaguars, to win a lot of games, they got to average 35 points a game. Maybe it's more like 31 to 35. I think John said he'd take me to a steakhouse for dinner if the Jaguars average 35 points a game. But the offensive output with the total points has got to be more in 2025. And you've got potentially one heck of a group of skilled position players. You're 4 wide receivers deep right now. And I'm including Parker Washington. There were back-to-back touchdown passes by Trevor Lawrence during training camp, I believe in the 11-on-11 drills. He hit back-to-back plays, hit ETN for a touchdown, Parker Washington for a touchdown. So, ETN is basically a receiver moving into his 5th year. He's a running back, but he catches a lot of balls out of the backfield, as you know. So that's going to be huge. Wide receiver wise, it's Brian Thomas Jr. is your number 1 wide receiver. 1B or 2 has got to be, as you know, Hunter. That's right. Travis Hunter, the number 1B or the number 2 wide receiver. The number 3 guy is probably Diami, the free agent who signed, I believe, a 1-year $10 million deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars from the Washington Commanders. And Parker Washington moving into, I believe, his third year, still on a rookie deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars. We've been brought to you by, on episode show number 41, we have absolutely been brought to you by the MadMaxMix.weebly.com, also by Saucer Realty and Capital for your real estate needs in North Florida, and by Lake Eufaula Hits. Check out JC's live from the pub show on Thursday nights at LakeEufaulaHits.com. And Mad Max, man, looking forward to your show this Wednesday night and every Wednesday night, 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock Eastern Time with the MadMaxMix.weebly.com. This has been episode show number 41 of the TEAL Shirt Report Podcast, right? That's right, the TEAL Shirt Report Podcast, episode show number 41. I want to thank our executive producer, JC, another producer, Alex Nunnery, who's been covering 8-man football, the professional rugby league where the Jacksonville Axemen are going to the national championship game. And also, Alex, he's been busy. He's been also helping to produce the show along with our executive producer, JC. I want to thank John Gaylor. John, thanks for everything. Thanks for all the help. I know sometimes I'll ask you questions and John says, well, here Scott goes again. But we've enjoyed the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Scott, your host for the Teal Shirt Report Podcast. And hey, I am out.